Welcome back, dear citizens, to the Directorate of Anvers. In between episodes, I've been managing the colonial armies and trying to reform them. Over here I have 3 armies that are mostly now combined to be proper armies. The result is 4 African armies. I also started recruitment of 4 new African armies. In total, 8 armies of 30,000 men each should be a proper front line in the African colonies. Over here I've done the similar kind of thing, trying to reshape the armies as best as possible, and we'll see what happens here. Though no recruitment as of yet in India. We'll have to do that later on. So it will be about maybe... yeah, I think maybe 3 or 4 armies will be over here. Probably 4 or 5 maybe. Well, something like that. We'll see what happens. Right now we have this one that has all the artillery but not the rest. We got some dividends there. Any infantry that we can send up over here? We do have some that we can send. Let's send them all the way up there. Same thing here. We have the artillery. How about we combine those? In fact, how about we combine those with this? That should be perfect. They have the cavalry needed. Oh no, we lost two great leaders maybe. Here we need a horse, and then here we have almost all the infantry we need. We just need a bit more infantry. Here we go. I found infantry. So we have 1 new army that is complete. Here we need some horses too. In fact, we can just demand the building of 2 new horses. Where would that be? Here. And there. There we go. Transcap wants an alliance. Sure, that is fair and honorable. This one will need the horses, and these... let's just disband them. I can't be bothered to deal with such small things. So here we have things that are ready. Let's just combine them together as best as possible. Don't know what map mode I accidentally entered there, but it was something. And let's go to Africa again to see what happened here. We have most of the armies ready. These need to be combined back into proper form. And now we have all those 4 armies. Also moved the rally point down to, I think it's Sassandra. Sassandra has a supply limit of 90, which is pretty big. Could be something that is a bit bigger, perhaps. Yeah, this one. Saint-Jean would probably be even better. And Port Leonin. But we will keep it at Sassandra now. It's too late to change. Maybe mass politics could be useful. The doctrine of fascism, very useful. Very useful for us. Right, do we have any people that are angry? No, they want public meetings, and that might be arranged if the people get mad enough. Before they're mad, is no point in actually doing anything at all. We just waste reforms on nothing. So we will sit and wait while they become angry enough for us to care. Here we have a new army ready for marching. There we go. And then we have those guys, and hopefully with them we have a new army ready for marching. We do, in fact. Great, it worked out. It worked out great. We now have all of our armies necessary. All of our armies that we can get, really, for the moment. Perhaps not, well, we could probably get some more, but it's maybe what we need right now. We have 12 armies suddenly, out of nowhere. We suddenly just had 12 armies. 12 armies times 30, that's quite a bit. My math right now doesn't allow me to figure out how many, but it's quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that's around 360,000 men, something like that. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I'm actually quite happy about that. And yeah, now I'm really worried that my math worked. You know what? If you know the math, just tell me what I would end up being. Doing math while trying to talk at the same time. No, but that's why math people are generally very silent and tend to themselves. It's because it's difficult to talk while doing math. Also, that's completely untrue. Just talking out of my ass. One thing that's good about... it's not really good, but one thing that wasn't affected as much by the revolutions is the Navy. And the Navy is as beautiful as it's ever been. And it's been completely unaffected by all... all the revolutions. And that's a great thing with navies. Sure, you have to rebuild them after a while and stuff, and it's expensive and crap. But they don't get removed due to you having rebellions of any kind. And that's a good thing. Despite what others might think, it's a good thing for great people. Do we have any other ships over here? No, we don't. This is our new European navy. It's pretty big, if I have to say so myself, which I do, of course. Mostly ironclads, some monitors, and steam transports to be able to transport everyone via the method of steam. That's pretty cool. You form a steam cloud that brings people where they need to go. What is this? Life without parole. Yeah. I say we stick with the old ways. Actually, for the poor people, let's consider doing otherwise. The poor people has a tendency to get a bit desperate and commit crimes against the Directorate, and we don't view that lightly. Are they fighting again? No, it's Jacobin rebels, but they're also fighting over here. Jesus. Macedonia and Albania are on each other's throats again, and here's a little Serbia. Proletarian dictatorship, Macedonia and Albania. Bulgaria is also a proletarian dictatorship. Seems the communists have taken a hold in the Balkans over here. No, not in Illyria, that's a parliamentary monarchy. San Marcos Republic is obviously a republic. Lotharingia, where are you? Oh yeah, it's the one in the way over here, isn't it? Yeah, this is one. Fascist dictatorship. And then there's a fascist dictatorship here too. And over here too, Amazonia is also a fascist dictatorship. How about Bjornia? You break the streak. God damn it. So we have the three major powers in South America, all fascist dictatorship. Then we have Gran Colombia presidential dictatorship, having reclaimed most of Aslan, our former protege, our former, what is it called, Padawan, you could call it. Dine Bikea, absolute monarchy. Qingqiu, something like that. They are a republic. Platydenia, parliamentary monarchy. Republic and republic. Boring with republics. I'm not a big fan. Could be more fun with more dictatorships and stuff like that. We'll have to do. Scandinavia is obviously a republic. Then over here we have the Qing Empire, which is obviously an absolute monarchy. Japan, parliamentary monarchy. A bit surprised there. Korea, constitutional monarchy. Taiping Empire, absolute monarchy. And Tibet, absolute monarchy. Dainam, proletarian dictatorship. Some things never change, right, Vietnam? Champa, absolute monarchy, parliamentary monarchy, and so forth. Bengal is a republic. And Bengal still retains their colonies over here, despite everything that's happened. That's pretty cool. And I'm really surprised Burundi and Rwanda both maintain their independence, despite being completely surrounded by Scandinavia. And they are really small countries too. I mean, these are pretty big and unfortunately now civilized nations, so they would require doing conquest, which would be 22. But we could go install fascism. That could be pretty cool. But right now they are simply living inside us. That seems a bit strange to say. But they have about 1 million there and 1.5 million people in total. It's fine that they can live there. It's nice that they exist. Spain is a proletarian dictatorship. Cool. So they've broken their alliance with France, the Republic. And Italy is also it's a constitutional monarchy. And there's obviously a republic. Anything else that's happening? Proletarian dictatorship, Russia. Not Soviet Union, but Russia. They didn't change the name. And Japan. This is so ugly. This is so ugly. That reminds me of in EU3, I believe, Bohemia and stuff always did a snake all over Russia into Asia. Now I want to play EU3. Damn it. Alright, do we have any sort of major revolts? People are starting to be a bit more upset. Jacobins having quite a bit of support. Campaign for free press. You know what? Have your free press. Just go ahead and take it. Stop being mad at us. We are a benevolent people, and if you get too mad at us, we will change, but otherwise we will be very, very harsh to you. The Aragonese, stupid people. Proletarian dictatorship, they're not worth it. I can't be bothered. I mean, sure, Aragon, we tried to be your friend, we tried to help you. You did actually regain Euskadia, which is surprising. But damn it, if we... You've been a disappointment. You've been a major disappointment. Yet we ally you again. Because we're nice like that. We are now down to 8.5 in infamy, and we can really go to war with France. We are actually having a border with... Really? Like, imagine if France actually had a border... Like Paris, more to the point, had a border with a foreign nation. Just like that. Like, right outside of Paris is a foreign country that is hostile towards France. That would be an interesting thing. The Jacobins were not really happy with what we did before. They want public meetings now. That's... Sure. That's allowed, I guess. That's allowed. Illyria wants to... what's the crisis about? The crisis is about... crisis over the return of Illyria's rightful territories. France backing the San Marcos Republic, while everyone will probably hate me if I decide to join in. The British Commonwealth does not really have the greatest relationship with us. But these two are already in war with each other, so they would be out. They would not be counted. So really it would be us versus France and possibly the British Commonwealth. And while the British Commonwealth would be a hassle to fight, we could do it. I have faith in us. We will back them. You know, France, how about you just go to hell? Oh, they even are strongly inclined to support us. They hate France more than they do us. You know, France, we can propose... how about you just give up? Apparently not. Okay. Maybe in the future we'll see. Incident in the British Commonwealth. Ooh, cool. A violent incident has occurred at one of the foreign embassies in Anvers, spurred on by British resentment towards the Directorate of Anvers and our ideology. The response to the unfortunate event has thankfully been conciliatory, and our government has received an official apology. Yeah. Don't really want to have a bad relationship with the British Commonwealth right now, so we will accept your thing. Just hope that it hasn't... it hasn't changed our mind too much. That's good. That is really good. How about we just sweeten the deal by increasing our relationship back up? Sure, you're a republic and we are greater than you are, but how about being friends together? Friends against the French. Yeah, they are really going to join in here. How about we increase relationship even further? There we go. Now we have positive relationship with them. And we have mass politics. Flaws of democracy. Proven by being a fascist dictatorship. Social alienation. Really cool stuff. Let's go for that. How about we increase relationship even more? No, not with France. Damn it. Wrong country. Increase relationship. There we go. We now have a really positive relationship with them. Yeah, they will join us. They will join us. It's just a matter of time now before the British Commonwealth decides to throw in their towel with the fascists to advance British interests. Come on, join in. You're strongly inclined to, just do it. Though at the same time, I'm kind of tempted to just beat down on France as much as I can with the British Commonwealth helping out. This is an opportune moment to really do that, because we don't have to do anything for infamy for the initial assault, and we could just take some territory and not have to deal with French alliances stretching all over the place. Not to the same extent, at least. Hopefully. The British, not the British, but the Directorate of Anvers is readying itself for war. And this time it will not do that haphazardly. It will call in, all the mobilized troops that it can in preparation. So how about you actually join us? Before war erupts. Come on, British Commonwealth. There we go, they are backing us. And now they're willing. No, we are not. You are not willing to surrender. We have the British Commonwealth on our side. We will destroy you. As it turns out. Oh god. I forgot that I encourage bureaucrats over here. How about we just instead do something like craftsmen? Craftsmen everywhere. Burgundy, Rhône, Flanders, Pas-de-Calais, Bohemia, there. 91, 92, 93, etc. Oh, I like this. Like some of the places have almost 40% craftsmen. More craftsmen than farmers. That's usually fairly hard to get. But we also build up all the factories in the entire nation. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, war has erupted. This French... God damn it, Transcap. Egypt, Sindh, Mewar, Jodhpur, Jaipur, Baroda, Vijayanagar, Bengal, Armenia, Lipedetmol, Frankfurt am Main, and international crisis have joined our side. Burgundy assimilation? No. Alright, we are at war. Who are we at war with? We are at war with France, Italy, what, Spain? Did you ally them again? Oh, damn it. Alright, we're at war with a few people. We do have the British Commonwealth on our side, which is great. We also have Aragon, not really on our side in this war. We do have Illyria, and that's worth more than gold can buy. Probably best to see it like this. Yeah. At least we didn't have to deal with anything regarding the Nubian Confederation, so... It could be worse. They are busy fighting here. I want to see how it goes. It is the... 4th Scandinavian Liberation? No. It would be the Nubian liberation of Anhalt. Oh my. I feel bad for them. They're really going to try to take everything from... Oh, and they have regained the coast here. Scandinavian Republic. They keep trading that between themselves, and Bohemia is just gonna lose the war. We're gonna have a massive Danubian Confederation as our endgame boss, so to speak. But right now we are at war. We're at war with the French, nonetheless. Our ancient enemies. The main power, I suppose, behind the former Dual Monarchy that was twitching us before. It's not great. We will in fact have one army stationed in Anvers, regardless of what happens. It's safer that way. We'll send one army to Paris, hopefully drawing those 80,000 men to the war. We will mobilize our forces, so we can get even more troops. Not gonna make any the same mistakes as in the past. No. Not interested in that. No mistakes this time. The French are weaker than before. Needless to say. There's been a lot of things that have happened to them between the wars. Oh, we had apparently a battle over here in Novara. Let's see how that goes. It's going fairly well so far. Let's just do local numerical superiority. The military doctrine I use in every single war game I can possibly find. It's not the best thing probably, but it's worked out fairly well so far. I'm pretty certain it's Napoleon that used it. At least they popularized it or something. Or at least something Napoleon. Might not be Napoleon who invented it, whatever. Could have been used for all eternity for all I know. But basically the concept of even if you have in total fewer numbers than the enemy, if you paired them up so if the enemy splits their army, say the enemy has, okay, you have 70,000 men, the enemy has 100,000 men, but the enemy splits up their army into two armies of 50,000 men, you try to lure them away from each other, then your 70,000 men will be in numerical superiority to the 50,000 men that you fight, and where you've managed to defeat them through having larger numbers, and then you can turn on the other army and still have a numerical superiority overall, even though overall you had, at the start, fewer men. Something like that. hastily and badly explained, but it's the general principle of the whole thing. Seems pretty obvious in hindsight, doesn't it? But yeah, in all these Paradox games, that's always what I try to do. It's worked out pretty well. Revolution in Aslan was a newspaper saying. Revolution in Aslan. A revolution is taking place in Aslan. Nahotel, blah blah blah, have done blah blah blah. New province of Chernigov now belongs to the Commonwealth. Oh, I thought it was the British Commonwealth. But it was in fact this here Commonwealth. Ooh. Wonder how that happened. But apparently Livonia is not now a thing. And there's still a war between the Commonwealth and the Scandinavians. There's a large battle going on in Alessandria. So far going, could be better. In fact, how about we send this army down here to help out? And how's it going over here? It's going well enough. We are not having any major fights with the French. We're more occupying their land, so they will get annoyed and complain loudly to us. We'll also wait until the end of the year before sending this army forward, so they can get some recharging reinforcements. That's the word. That's great, that's great. Oh, now they're attacking us here. Okay, we need to send some reinforcements. How about that? We have about 90,000 men protecting Paris, or our attack on Paris, more to the point. And suddenly we lose more men because of it. It will hopefully turn around soon as... I said I hope it turns... There we go. The game listened finally. Alright, that's not the best way to go, honestly. There's some enemies over there. If you can't tell. Should probably try to avoid those enemies. And now they have recharge, so they can attack. We just gotta avoid having, a lot of territory that's been occupied. So we don't have to deal with war exhaustion as much. It's advisable to avoid war exhaustion whenever possible, really. That's a good way of avoiding it if you murder all of the enemy. Okay, attack Turin, and this army, whenever they're done with their siege, will attack the army over here under something, Enrico Vaccari in Frejus. Alright, attack that one. Hopefully, even though it's not some numerical superiority, we probably might be able to have a victory there, nonetheless. The only problem is this army. It's fairly big and it's in mountainous terrain. I don't really want to fight them, so we will lose that siege. This has nothing to do about that, in particular. Unless I want to throw a bunch of men and stuff at them, for absolutely no reason at all. Which would be pretty stupid if you ask me. Now, however, we will need to strike back against the French so they don't occupy all of our southern parts. The main problem will be this one over here. Can we reach that before? Hopefully. This one will be done very, very soon. They are still at 88% over here. How quickly will it grow? Well, probably a bit too quick. We'll see. It will take a few days for them to reach. Maybe might be able to reach there in time. Indeed, they are capable of doing so. Though it's not the best attacking position ever. I will in fact send the main army from the Italian front all the way over to help out over there. It's just how it works. I could send these guys too. Some of them are Jacobin rebels. Speaking of Jacobin rebels, don't want to have revolution happening in our faces while we are fighting. 5.66 million men are going for that. They want suffrage movement. I say no thank you. However, I would be willing to allow, for example, limited minority rights. If that would be interesting to all of you. Maybe now you will back off. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Would also be willing to go for limited work hours. That's fine too. Oh, we did win that. Did win that war. That's our battle. What's the point? Which is fine. "150,000 men have gathered to attack the French." go. We have won a victory in the Osta Valley. Right now, what is our work source? 9.6. I mean, that's a bit too harsh. The French is at 40%. And we have managed to take over most of their territory. Not most. Not even close to most, but some of their territory. Meanwhile, we will continue just occupying more and more French territory. Seems the best way to handle this. The Italians are weak in comparison to our forces. There's no question about that. I'm uncertain whether the Italians have any shot at all at protecting themselves. If we just attack here, it's pretty bad terrain. I'm well aware of that. But we need to stop them before they just continue occupying more territory for us. We do still have the gas attack, because somehow they don't have defense against gas attack. Which is pretty stupid. We apparently are really bad at rolling our dice. A 1. Well, that's not good either. A 2. Well, how great. What the fuck is... Learn to roll dice better. What the hell? You're supposed to be a general. A 3? What? Ah, Jesus. In Paris, a major victory for us compared to the French. In fact, we will surrender the attempt at occupying Paris in exchange for completely demolishing the French armies instead. And we will retreat here because apparently that battle went really, really bad. Which is not good. Here we will split up our forces to cover more ground. This is what we need to do. Now suddenly we are rolling dice much better. Look, at 8, we got an 8. Good. Good job. Excellent work. Yeah. Victory for our people. Perhaps we can get Italy out of the war soon. I'm not really interested in getting much more from Italy. Taking Languedoc here, so we have a land border with Aragon. Now that would be more interesting, because that means we can invade Aragon. And invading Aragon is like... That's the entire purpose of playing the game, isn't it? Alright, let's avoid any more French doing stuff to us. And attack the French at every opportunity. At every opportunity. Also, send out our fleet so we don't get blockaded. Alright, we have enough men now to cover more ground here. Apparently we have sent most of our troops to do other things, so we only have 2 armies that are left to fight, our 3 armies left to fight Italians. But we have regained control of the Aosta Valley, and that is great. We will leave this to the end of the month to regain some forces before it engages the 4th army once again. The Amazonia wants to have peace. I think they are, or alliance. I believe they are not communist but fascist. And that is good. What the hell? Why is that a thing? Don't tell me that they got hooked up by some conscripts and forced to go all the way back. That's just stupid. Battle of Calais was a victory, despite everything. And apparently we were more concerned with occupying Berve than Paris. So we'll do like this. One of the armies will be sent here, one of the armies will be sent to Paris. And the French are facing some revolutions on their hands, and soon we would too, unless we do something about it. The people want minimum work hours. We can arrange that. As the benevolent rulers that we are, we will arrange work hours for them. That's great. What would the people, if there were an election right now, what would they pick? Conservative, seemingly. Only 10% of the population is 11% is fascist. 52% is conservative. How is that possible? Is that including Oh yeah, it's including the people that don't get to vote. Okay. If we look at politics, people's ideologies. Well, that's true, but voters' ideology is what's more interesting. All right, so we can't get proper information about that. I would say about 70% or something is fascist in our land. That's just how it is. This army is completely useless and will be disbanded. All right. I think this war is going fairly well, and it will be continued in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed so far, and the new Directorate of Anvers compared to the Burgundian Kingdom and Burgundian Empire. We will still do great things under the good old great Director, and we will do so in the next episode. So see you then, and until then, have a great time.